Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I have Rocco Carrero on the line, and he's a private wealth advisor at Rocco Carrero Wealth Partners. Rocco, welcome to the show.
Hey, Adam, thank you for having me.
All right, Rocco. So I'm excited to get into your book today. If you're a listener and you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you know I love bringing authors on the show and helping them promote their books, and more important, their message. Like, why did they go through all the effort to write a book and to get it out there and to spread their knowledge to the world? So I'm excited to get into this book today, the Three Chords Approach. But before we do that, Rocco, we'll start this interview the way that we start them all, with our Mission Matters Minute. So, Rocco, we at Mission Matters, we amplify stories for entrepreneurs, executives, and experts. That's our mission. Rocco, what mission matters to you?
The mission that matters most to us, and it kind of ties in with the idea behind the book, is really to make a meaningful difference in the lives of our readers and the people that we work with. And if we can help people have balance more, have more meaningful relationships with their family, have them take care of themselves better as an individual, and also have super businesses, then we've achieved our mission.
Fantastic. Love bringing mission-based individuals on the line to share why they do what they do. So awesome. Maybe just to get us started, of course, we'll get into the book. I definitely want to learn more about your firm. But before we get started, like, how did you get on this journey and really just on this path to helping people with their finances and just finance in general? Like, where did this all begin for you?
You know, I have always had an interest in helping people. From a young age, I was anybody that needed help. They could pretty much give me a call, whether it was raking leaves, shoveling driveways, installing cable, whatever it was. I've always had an interest in helping people, and I've always had an interest in business. And as time went on, as I'm kind of thinking about different types of careers to go into, I had an interest in the stock market and how commerce worked globally. And I said, wow, what's out there that I could possibly do that combines both helping people, that ties in, and that also ties in with financial services, and being a financial advisor and advising people on creating true wealth and balance. That seemed like the right fit for me. And fast forward, almost 25 years later, it's been one of the greatest decisions of my life.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know I have a bias. I love the financial service industry, and that's why I spent almost 14 years in that industry. And it was a really tough decision for me to leave that and to do, what I do now, even though I still have a heart to help people, and that's exactly what we're doing at Mission Matters. But I always, when people ask me, what are some things I can do to help people, or they have that in their heart, I'm always like, you should really explore financial services. And they're usually kind of shocked because I feel like the old branding was like in the 70s or something. It was the Wall Street or the this or the that, and it was like. But when we're really talking about here is we're talking about helping people, like their families and their legacy, and helping them grow their wealth and all that they've worked for in their life to make sure that it goes to the proper channels they want it to be, whether it's their kids, their family, whether it's in philanthropy, whatever they choose to do with their money at the end of it all. But so I love it, and so the reason I kind of set the stage with that is I'd be interested to hear your opinion on this, Rocco. There'll be some people that listen to this that are maybe a little bit earlier in their career, maybe they're even thinking about career changes or things like that. Like, what would you say to people that were out there listening that are maybe considering a career journey, or to maybe go down that path of financial services? What kind of things would you tell them?
I would tell them, I've met so many people that have come in and out of this side of the financial services world. And many of those people that were really good, whether they were really good stock pickers or they were really interested in trading securities, and that, to be a really successful financial advisor, in my opinion, based upon today, you got to have the ability to be able to relate to people, be a better listener than speaker, and really helping to align people's goals and objectives with financial services tools. And there's a place for really great traders and stock pickers in the financial services world, but it's not in the working with the clients one-on-one and helping them achieve their goals. So, I know that, again, I've been doing this almost 25 years, and that's been kind of my experience. The advisors that are the most successful at this business partner with really great stock pickers and choose really great investment solutions. That's where they focus the majority of their energy. Our advisors, in being a face-to-face, working with clients face-to-face, is to have the skill set to align goals and objectives with those tools to help them achieve their goals and their objectives. Hope that makes sense.
It does, and well said, Rocco. I completely agree with you. Like there's two different skill sets. There's somebody that's a planner that really wants to get into the weeds and like help somebody plan their life and reach their goals. And there's somebody else that maybe prefers to battle the market and whatever their chosen asset class is, or other things like that, or style, or anything else like that, trading objective, all that stuff, of course. So completely agree with you there. So just shifting gears slightly, Rocco, I want to dive into this book. So 3 Chords Approach to Life and Wealth Management for Business Owners. Like what was the inspiration behind the book?
Well, the inspiration behind the book was, doing this for 25 years, I sat with so many different business owners, probably had 14,000 meetings over the past 25 years. And I saw that, even though that somebody might have been really financially successful, they might have had trouble in other areas of their life, whether it was if they were really great at their business, they weren't really paying attention to their health, they weren't going to see doctors, they might have been smoking, drinking, all kinds of different things that were not helpful in their life. Or I saw somebody that might have been taking really great care of themselves, had a super successful business, but they kind of neglected their families. Or I saw business owners that were really terrific family people, were in great health, but they just were letting their business kind of just fade away. And so the business owner that paid attention to the 3 areas, those are the ones that really had true wealth based upon everything that I got to see in working with these people. All 3 areas. They focused on themselves as an individual, they had super successful businesses, and they were very conscious, and they were terrific family people. Those 3 areas created the true wealth.
Wow. And when you say it like that, it sounds so simple, doesn't it, Rocco?
It is so hard.
It sounds so. It sounds so simple. It's like just do these 3 areas and you're good. And obviously, like that's what the book's about, is helping people maybe accomplish these goals and helping them plan out to them. But when I hear you say it, I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And to get to the simple is the hard part, right?
It is hard, and it's not that you do all 3 of those things at once. You have to be conscious of all three things, but you're doing all 3 things individually, and that's what makes up it. But it is hard. It is really hard.
Yeah. And so I guess taking it a step further, let's maybe and obviously I want the audience to go out there and to pick up a copy of the book. So we won't get into all of it, but I do want to give a flavor of kind of maybe how the book is written, and also maybe share some stories from there or some tools, because I want the audience to walk away with that. I guess the first thing I'd ask is this a book that the majority can read, or is this like a highly financial technical book? Like, give me a flavor for the style of writing.
I didn't write the book for the highly savvy financial person. I wrote the book with financial planning concepts that everybody could understand. And then with the financial planning concepts, which are terrific, and that applies to people that are, whether you're worth $1 million or you're worth $100 million, certainly applies to you. And then I wove in the 3 Chords approach into the financial planning concepts of the book. So it's a very useful tool for somebody that may have a little experience, no experience, or even or really a lot of experience. I've had highly skilled financial people read the book, and it's created an impact on them, not necessarily maybe because of the financial stuff they knew, but because of the 3 Chords approach.
Great. Let's get into the chords themselves, and I don't know if we want to do this by number or what, but like in any particular order, completely up to you. But let's say what is the first chord?
The first chord that we focus on in the book is the chord of basically yourself as an individual. That is it's basically, are you taking care of yourself? Are you exercising? Do you have your own, personal goals, hobbies, interests? We tend to put ourselves last. And in the book, we talk a lot about ourselves as individuals. We don't want you to forget about yourself. We want you to live your life and get everything you want out of life for yourself. So that's the first chord.
And so, now, I don't want to oversimplify the topic, number one, but I know it's going to be different, right? From person, from their expertise, from their their socioeconomic status, where they're at, what stage they're at in their life. Of course, there's a lot of variables. But I know you've been in the business for a long time. Where do you find that? What are some of the themes or opportunity areas where you feel maybe people are maybe working on this chord and they just don't quite hit what they wanted to do or reach that goal?
I would say that they don't, if you think about calendaring your life, they'll spend more time maybe doing a financial plan or figuring out how to make more money or figuring out, or going to games and doing things with their family, but they're not scheduling their own regular doctor's appointments. They're not going to the gym. They're not paying attention to their diet. They don't have, they're putting themselves last all the time. They're running themselves into the ground. And, those are all things that are, we tend to think that, we're Superman, or Superwoman, we're a lot tougher if we don't do those different things. But, to be around and enjoy your financial rewards and to enjoy your family, you got to pay attention to yourself too.
That's great. Let's tackle the second chord, please.
Sure. Well, as we take a look at the second chord, which is we took a look at family, right? So family, whether a lot of what we saw was unfortunately these high charging business owner people, many of them had been married a few times, had very difficult time with relationships, and not because they didn't care. It was because they were so dedicated to their work and they were dedicated to their work to support their family, but their family really wanted them there, and they were constantly torn. So the concept of around, the chord of family is, recognizing what you have, doing goal planning around the things that you should be doing with your family, just like how we do business planning. I do planning for myself as an individual. I do planning for as a family, like where are we going? What are we doing? Scheduling on the calendar. Do you ski, golf, whatever your hobbies and interests are, make sure you get that on the calendar, because if you don't get on the calendar, your work life will overtake your family life without any question. So that second quarter is about family, being there, going to games, going to school concerts, doing date night with your spouse, just be, letting your family know that they are the priority, that the work is really the means to help support the family, but that's not your primary goal and your objective. And they family needs to, and you need to demonstrate that. You could say it, but you need to demonstrate it. Here's a quick story that was in the book. I had a trip that was planned to go to Spain with a group of friends, and it was the night of my daughter's 6th grade graduation, and she received the President Trump's award for education excellence that they give to all these elementary schools. She was getting the award, and the graduation kept going on. It went overtime. And I'm like, I can't leave. And so I had a car service waiting outside to take me to the airport. And I knew that if I had to leave right there in order to catch the plane. But sure enough, I knew this. I'm probably going to miss the plane now. But I sat through the presentation, was there for my daughter. My daughter looked out in the audience. She saw me. She knew that I was going to Spain for this trip. And I ended up by missing the flight. I had to get another ticket the next day, lost time there, lost hotel. It was like thousands and thousands of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
But I was, my family, forget about the money. It was more important to be there for my family and my daughter recognizing, wow, like he didn't go, like it was only 15 minutes, right? But it was the 15 minutes of her highlight, and I had to be there. And that was, one way that I just demonstrated and showed to my daughter that I do, she's more important than other, whether it's business activities or whatever else I may have going on.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's a great, it's a great way to show that you're also practicing, what you're teaching. And we're all human. We're all working on ourselves, of course, but when we can make those crucial decisions like that, they're remembered. So I think that's awesome. Rocco, I wanna go a little bit further into your firm. So Rocco Quintero Wealth Partners. Tell me a little bit more about the firm and maybe the types of clients that you work with, whether it's a certain industry, client profile, or otherwise. Because I'm also going to give you the opportunity, of course, to leave contact information, websites, stuff like that at the end of this. And I just want to make sure that the right types of individuals do connect and organizations connect with you and your team. So who typically is a good fit to work with the firm?
All right. Well, we specialize in doing comprehensive financial planning for our clients, and we weave in the three chords approach, which is basically one of our key value propositions, where we take a look at all three areas of a person's life. And then our typical clients are business owners, entrepreneurs, CEOs. That's who we usually work with. Most of the clients that we work with, have the minimum of $2 million of liquid investable assets. There's lots of times that we get calls and we speak with other people, not that we don't want to help them, but we try to limit the amount of new clients that we take on every year in order to keep our quality at a very, very high level where people get immediate responses. We try to have kind of almost like a Ritz-Carlton service model. We've done training at the Ritz-Carlton. We've done all those different types of training and development to ensure that people are receiving the efficiency of like FedEx or UPS, but with but really doing it in a Ritz-Carlton way.
So a lot of different niches or types of individuals that you could work with. And one of the ones that you mentioned was business owners. Now, I haven't managed money or been in the industry for a long time, but that was always my sweet spot. And I just love working with business owners. They're just, to me, it's just always had a special connection. Why did you choose to work with business owners? Like, what's the affinity? I'm always curious to hear people's response on how they landed on that, because it's not, and I'm not saying you're saying this, Rocco, I'm saying it. So Adam, they're not always the easiest type of clientele to work with, but I always found it so rewarding. Like, why choose to work with business owners?
Business owners are, they're demanding, but they're really good at delegation. They're a really good business owner. And so if they like you, they trust you, they're going to delegate that responsibility to you. I've been around business owners my whole life. My dad, and this is in the book, he had a tailor shop. So I grew up watching his business and how he interacted with his customers. And I've always been able to relate to business owners really well. I feel very comfortable around them. I like hearing the stories of growing and where they started. And it just, and then I found that business owners are usually have a higher level of emotional intelligence and usually able to handle market volatility a little bit better based upon having lots of volatility in their business life. So, that just seems to be the segment of the population that I connect with best. Yeah.
And I never really made that connection until much later in life, where I was like, oh yeah, my dad was a business owner. So some of those conversations were similar, like they were different. But hearing you say that, I'm like, I was kind of wondering, I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. Your dad was a business owner. So it's almost like, just that somewhat of that connection. It just happened. So it's awesome. So Rocco, first off, I just have to say it's been great having you on the show. I really enjoyed learning more about the three chords approach. I hope my audience did as well. If somebody's listening to this and they want to connect with you and your team, whether it's about the book or whether they want to just inquire more about the services and maybe how you can help, what's the best way for people to reach out?
Best way is to go to our website, which is roccoacarrero.com. That's ROCCO, middle initial A, last name spelled CARRIERO.com. And you can take a quiz that we created on there, and you can send an email, and I'm happy to talk with anybody if you'd like my help.
Fantastic, and we'll put all the links and stuff like that in the show notes so that the audience can just click on it and head right on over and check out the content and information. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters, we're a platform that's all about bringing on entrepreneurs, executives, and experts, and people that really just have a mission, something they're passionate about, and that they want to share with the world. We're all about amplifying that and giving them a platform to do so. If you're into mission-based content and like to hear from entrepreneurs and experts, we definitely welcome you to hit that subscribe button, because we have many more mission-based individuals coming up on the line, and we don't want you to miss a thing. And Rocco, really a pleasure having you on the show again, and wishing you the best of luck with Three Chords Approach. Hoping that my audience will go out there, pick up a bunch of copies so that they can also benefit from the information as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Really appreciate it.